It is the chief baseball officer of the Boston Red Sox who joins us this morning, Craig Breslow. Hey, Craig.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Well, we're doing great and back on track a little bit here with the series win at least. So, and I know it's a long season. When you look at this team struggling a little bit of late prior to winning this series, do you look? Would you be more concerned with the defense side of things or the offense side of things?
Yeah, I think we are mindful of both. It's a little bit early, I'd say, to use the word concern, but there are definitely some trends that we're seeing, and we want to make sure that we're out in front of. And I think Alex said it well when he talked about the team not looking like they were prepared to play, and that's something that changed over the last couple of days. I think much cleaner games for the last two nights on both sides of the ball. I think we have to trust the track record of the guys that we have on defense. They've been good defenders in this league for a really long time. Offense, obviously, is a little bit more variant, and we need to make sure that we're making good swing decisions, which is something that we saw improve over the last two nights. Looked like there was a clear approach plan. And we were swinging at pitches in the zone, putting good swings on them, and driving better contact.
When you describe it as a team not being prepared, does that mean you need to go back and look at the way you're doing things in spring training?
I think we always need to look at how we're doing things, but I actually think that in spring training there was a really strong focus and intentionality to the work on the backfields and in the cages, and I think we were all really happy with the level of preparation coming into season, and then the season introduces a ton of variables that are hard to navigate at times. Whether it's travel, weather, injuries, all those things. But I think, based on what we've seen the last couple of days, I think we're on the right track. And, I think there's a good level of accountability from the players. We saw what guys like Trevor and Bregman had to say, about going out there, competing, being prepared to play. And we'll continue to build on the momentum that I think we've established over the last couple of days.
Craig, one of the things that this team has changed a little bit, and you've seen it over the years, is obviously your ability to run as athletes, stolen bases, and you're getting the hits, but you're leaving a lot of runners in scoring position. Is there a chance that we might see, because of the speed that you have on this team, a little bit more aggressive base running to maybe add to, getting more runs in?
I think athleticism and overall team speed certainly strengths of this group. We need to get on base in order to run, but we've seen what Jaron and Hammy and Sedan and recently Trevor are capable of doing, and it puts a ton of pressure on the defense. So I don't think we want to be reckless with the way that we run the bases, but we should absolutely take advantage of our team speed.
Craig, Tanner Houck's last start was not a good one for him. What do you see as the issue there?
Yeah, so I think physically he feels really good. If you look at kind of the raw stuff, the velocity and the pitch movement, that's as good as it's been. I think the execution is where we've fallen a little bit short, and he knows that. Our pitching group knows that. I think if you look at last start relative to the one against Toronto, where he pitched deep in the game and threw really well, just a lot more pitches on kind of the edges of the strike zone. When he missed just off, as opposed to missing either in the middle of the plate or kind of non-competitively. And so I think we need to just kind of get back to having Tanner compete in the zone.
Did Triston Casas place himself down to the 7-hole, or was that Alex Cora's decision in the lineup?
I think what I know is that Triston is a big part of what we're going to do here, and I think we saw, even just through the course of the series in Tampa, much better at bats. He's getting his A swing off. He was not chasing pitches outside of the strike zone over the last couple of nights. He didn't have as many balls fall in as he would like and we would like, but he's hitting the ball hard. And that said, when it comes to lineup construction, that is Alex's job.
What about? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, speaking of hitting the ball hard, how long can you allow the full mash of Roman Anthony to be wasted in Worcester, Craig?
Yeah, well, I don't think we want to waste anything. I think what we want to make sure is that when Roman comes to the big leagues, he's able to step in and be successful, that there is clear opportunity for him to get the runway that he'll need as a 20-year-old. And I think there are still some development opportunities that he is tackling in Worcester right now, but we are really excited about what Roman has done thus far and what we think he's capable of bringing.
Should Triston Casas' struggles continue, what is more likely, Devers at first or Roman Anthony at first?
I think what we will do is everything in our power to ensure that Triston's struggles don't continue.
Greg, when you look at Alex Cora, I think a lot of us question, okay, how much is on the manager versus how much is on the players? When you look at where you are as a team, especially with strikeouts, does a lot of that fall on the manager's kind of plate to make sure that you guys are more patient at the plate? It seems like you're swinging at early pitches and getting behind the count. How much of that is on Cora to make sure he's getting into these guys' heads to be more patient and look for the good pitches?
Yeah, I think it's impossible to assess how much blame goes to one particular person over another. Ultimately, when we struggle, it falls on all of us, starting with me. And, I think it's really important because the baseball season is so long that we lean into making sure that we have good processes. And like I said, anytime we're evaluating our offensive performance, it has to start with, are we swinging at the right pitches? And, when we're swinging at them, are we making contact? Over the last couple of days, we certainly chased less out of the zone, but I think there's still room to drive up, kind of our in-zone contact rates here. So in terms of answering that question, it falls on all of us, and we're all working really, really hard to provide consistency and the offensive performance that we know this lineup is capable of delivering.
We were talking earlier, start of the show, about Florida and baseball and being a baseball guy your whole life. Is it surprising to you when you have 7,000 fans at a Marlins game and 10,000 yesterday? Is because you would think Florida would be, the weather's great, there's no issue there. And it's certainly when it comes to kids who are playing baseball, they're playing it in Florida. Is that the attendance surprise you?
Yeah, it's hard for me to really speak as to what drives individual fans to the stadium and what doesn't. I think baseball has made some meaningful changes to the game to drive action and to limit kind of the dead time. And I think that has sparked a ton of interest. Obviously, the race situation is unique, and everyone is trying to kind of do the best that they can. What we can concentrate on is trying to put the best team on the field that we can, and we think we have an entertaining product because of the things that we talked about earlier, like team speed and athleticism that is going to be attractive to fans.
Speaking of athleticism, Devers has been taking ground balls, I think, almost every game at third. Why wouldn't Devers have played third yesterday with Bregman back for the birth of his child?
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity to get guys into the lineup that we want to make sure aren't sitting for too long, whether that's Romy or Tammy. And Rafi is obviously going through a transition in terms of his role, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything we possibly can to make that transition as easy as possible. And sometimes adding things to one's plate can make it a little bit more complicated.
Craig, it seems like Bayo had his last rehab start yesterday. Do you like what you're seeing out of him? Does he feel good? When do you expect him back?
Yeah, we'll get together and talk with Brian. We'll talk with the pitching group, medical group. But I think we've seen a lot of encouraging things through his rehab outings. Obviously, the traditional lines aren't overly appealing, but if you take a closer look, you see he was able to generate swings and misses. The shapes of his pitches were all really good. Command was good. He's struck out a bunch of guys without walking too many. Had some batted ball luck that didn't go his way, but he's building up bulk. I think he pitched into the fifth yesterday, so we feel good about where he is. But before making any declaration, would want to be sure that we check all the boxes here.
There's some cap coming from Courtney here because she really only wants Liam Hendriks back. So when Liam Hendriks is back, Courtney will be back in the ballpark.
Yeah, I love Liam Hendriks.
Yeah, and Liam pitched yesterday as well. He's nearing a return. Stuff continues to tick up. We obviously had that little hiccup coming out of spring training, but I think ultimately it was the right decision to give him a little bit more time to ramp up. Velo up to 96 yesterday. Slider got some swings and misses, and he felt a lot more confident in the outing. So definitely trending in the right direction.
All right, Craig Breslow, thanks for taking the time. We'll talk to you again soon. Big weekend at Fenway, and of course the Marathon Monday game. So enjoy it, and we'll check in again next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, there you go, Curtis. Velo 96 from Liam Hendriks.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's pretty good.
Got hot in here.